swings, okay? So I put some lines on here now, the ground with the clubs and the circle around your head, okay? This was your before on the right-hand side, okay? Ball for me is just too far back. It's nearer that trail foot than your front foot, okay? Yeah. So because of that there now, just watching your head movement here now, it drops a lot early, yeah?
Yeah.
Then it kind of starts having to move to the right-hand side. Then you got to kind of move back to your left. Then you go, hang on, I can't go too far this way. You start moving to the left and go, well, no, I can't because the ball's too far back. And then you got to move back the other way and up again. So there's just a lot going on there with your head. Then post-impact, then sort of moves up there, okay? And I think grip pressure we can't see, but you can just generally see your swings are just freeing up a little bit, yeah? You're probably going down about a 7 maybe if we're lucky. But yeah, go from a 10 to a 7 to then eventually to a 6 to a 5 and get down that sort of 3, 4, 5 area would be fine. So the ball position now we can see, if I put a line in there, is just left to centre, which is fine, okay? Width of stance is fine. Grip pressure, like I said, we can't see, but we can just see your swing being a little bit more fluid, okay? As you go back now, head's dropping a little bit, but not as much so early. It's kind of staying in that box a bit more, okay? And now when we come back to the golf ball, as we strike it, there's impact. Your head's sort of staying behind the ball. So your head's only moved a little bit in that circle and not so much up, down, right, left. There's going to be a little bit of movement. That's kind of a little characteristic to yours. But if you see a golf ball that's sort of situated, obviously not this far, but if a golf ball's over here somewhere, your brain's going to go, oh, I've got to move to that ball. If I said to you there, if I say you were stood down on the camera and I threw a ball over here somewhere, to your right, where are you going to move? You're going to move to go and get that. You wouldn't move this way, but you know your golf swing realistically wants to kind of move this way towards target. Yeah. But if the ball's kind of back here somewhere, you're now going to try and move back for the ball, but then try and move. So now, where the hell do I go kind of thing? There's a lot of things going on there that are really going to kind of mess up with your head. And at some point, you'll kind of adjust to it well enough and you'll sort of manage it through. But golf's fragile. It doesn't take a lot for your swing to just completely implode. And as I say, when it goes wrong, then you get in your head and you start changing things. And I can almost guarantee when you played on the weekend it was going wrong, the last thing you probably thought was the ball positions need to change. Yeah? That was probably just, well, the ball's there, exactly, yeah. And that's why I say, if you're somebody who's self-confessed, and nothing wrong with it, a lot of the guys I give lessons to aren't going to spend hours down the range hitting golf balls, because A, they can't, B, they can't be asked, or B, it's boring, they don't want to do it. So there's no point saying, okay, let's go to the range and we'll do all these different things, blah, blah, blah. Let's just say, okay, right, just go home now for the next time you play golf and just put these clubs down the ground there, sort of create this sort of crosshair here and here, and just get used to setting up there. And then step away. And then maybe, and again, if you want to just feel free to do so, film your swing from the front side, put a ball down there without the clubs and just set to the golf ball from a complete 90. Make sure you are literally 90 degrees to kind of the camera. I put the big over here so it makes it look wrong, okay? Get yourself straight in front of the camera, put the ball down and go, right, I'm going to set down there, set up, good, and then go and check it. And just see, can you set up, and that's the telling thing, can you set it without, exactly, because they're stabilisers.
Yeah.
When they're there, you ain't going to fall off, are you? No. Yeah? On the golf course, and then certain holes you won't have that luxury. We got a nice square mat at the edge there to help us line up.
Yeah, that's
he's not there on the golf course.
Yeah,
and people, and to be fair, you do come behind the goal and you do all that kind of stuff, which I like. What I would encourage when you go through this sort of setup and route, I don't think I'll go from the start there. No, when you stand behind the golf ball, okay, and you're kind of back here somewhere, pick a spot along your target line there that could be a kind of blemish or a bit of divot or something, and the first thing you do is aim your club to that, then set your feet around that. So you're setting your club to target and your distance from the golf ball. You then set your feet down with the ball, but as we said, just left to centre, kind of sort of through your left chest there.
You wouldn't aim your golf club at the pin?
If I want to go for the target, I would do. Yeah. But that, I mean, if the pin is kind of, if we sort of this is a sort of if the flag's over here playing from this buoy on that sort of line there, I'd aim at something halfway or even 2 or 3 feet in front. And aim over a short, like an intermediate target that is on line with the pin. Okay, and then aim at that. Because aiming over 200 yards or whatever you have to do is a long way away.
Yeah.
Aiming with 2 foot, but easier. Yeah. And again, you can practice how good you can line your golf club up by putting a tee peg on the ground there now, set up to this full setup and make a tiny swing back to about here somewhere and just chip it forward, do it with the tee peg. If you don't, you can't aim the club face, and then that just takes practice, yeah? You've got to learn to set up and practice, yeah? How that club sits, how the ball position sits, all these things, all these fundamentals that if we get wrong, we then got to make adjustments in the swing. If the ball's too far back and the grip's too tight and we move our head this way, we've now got to make some sort of adjustments back to that golf with the golf ball straight. So in the time it takes from your club to get up to the top of the backswing here, and you've got a lot of club head speed, which makes even less time, okay? you've got to adjust for sort of 3 things from up there back down to there.
Over time. Yeah.
No one's sort of time. Okay, I would say 85% of a good shot is done before the club is at the golf bag. What you're thinking about, what swing you're going to make, and what shot you're going to play.
Totally
The next 10% is done in the backswing, and the last 5% is the downswing. Okay, because once you get to kind of there, it's probably even less than that. It's probably like 1%. Once you get to there, there's not a lot you can do. Now, good players, tour players, if they're slightly out here, they can maybe adjust down here on occasions, but it's not going to be good enough for them. They might miss a green on a par 5 and not make a birdie, making a par. So losing a shot to them, that's £500,000, isn't it? So it's all relative, but if we're trying to adjust from the top of the backswing in that third of a second, I wish you luck, because you will do it on occasions. You'll play 18 holes, 4 or 5 times you'll do it, 10 times you won't, 4 times you'll be kinda, and then the 10 times you don't, you'll be horrendous. The 5 times you do it will be pretty good, and the 4 times will be average, but you'll still score a lot higher than what you should do.
Yeah.
Rather than having the ball in the right spot, setting up for the shot you want to play, looser in that grip pressure, and now we've got the ball in the right spot, the arms have got time to sort of square that club face up, the launch angle's getting a little bit higher. What you will find initially now, you'll have a couple of where you hit the ground kind of back here because you're used to the ball being here.
Yeah.
Don't, and almost tell yourself when you hit a few grounds, don't move the ball further back in your stance to accommodate for that hit shot, okay? You just got to move your body better, yeah? If you're so tight, you could move your body better. And if your head was doing this and this and this, where's your body going to want to move anyway? So adjust that setup. Give that a go next time we play a game of golf again. Just give that a sort of full 18-hole test, or maybe more if you want to do 2 or 3 rounds of golf, and we'll see where you're at from there, okay? If anything needs to be tweaked from there. But in some ways, we're just going to drip feed you little and often, to be fair. There's no point in saying, okay, right, go to the range and hit 1,000 balls. Just try for next time you play golf. Practice that setup. Can you get the golf ball in the right spot?
Playing Sunday, so
So before Sunday, then try and hit some shot, make some swings in the garden, or just put some golf balls down there. Just as long as you've got a space the size of a mat there, you can stand between in the living room.
Anyway,
Well, yeah, then you're in the carpet in the living room if you want. You haven't got to make a swing in the golf club. You just got to stand there, and can you step to that golf ball correctly? Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Good man.